not a climate activist. Let me be very, very honest. So half the subjects that people talk about, did I really understand? I did not. At the same time, having lived life as a journalist, but having been a generalist, not a journalist in that sense, there are so many other things that climate really impacts. Everything about living. And when we started working towards the concept of bringing climate as a conversation to India and then to Mumbai, we felt, can we make it more people-oriented? Because it's always been very elitist. You know, all the subjects that are being talked about, can we talk about people? Can we involve people? Can we see what's happening to their lives? You know, something as elementary like when we do Project Mumbai, we talk about sustainability and waste segregation. At the end of the day, ask two people, give them 2 plastic bottles and tell them which is good plastic and which is bad plastic, they will not know. You know, we are talking about trying to segregate waste. Ask somebody living in slums to say, don't throw plastic away. He'll say, first give me food. The challenges and realities of life are very different. And somewhere we need to start addressing all this through a global platform. At a separate level, I do believe in the power of the individual, of volunteering. In every college, if you have one student giving 1 hour of his time a week, which is 52 hours in a year, and if there are 1,000 such students, that my maths is poor, that's whatever the number of zeros that come in, but those many hours get contributed to the giving back towards sustainability.
Right.
And if you have 100 such colleges coming in, look at the power of time bank that we can create. Yeah. Now, what can one do in that? That's the separate part of the conversation. To say somebody can do waste segregation, somebody can just donate a book, somebody can do some reading, somebody can just do creating a walking track. Lots of things to be done. मतलब करने के लिए बहुत कुछ है. It's just we need to start somewhere. We beautified railway stations, but when we painted 36 railway stations of Bombay, and we're going to paint 16 railway stations now next month, we involved citizens to paint it. Are they the greatest work of art? No. But try to tell me somebody who understands art. Okay, and I'm sure people will not like me saying that, but it's about creating a sense of ownership. And that's lacking in this city sometimes, in most cities. You know, when I paint a railway station today, if somebody spits on a station, I dare not stop that person to say, "Kyun thukte ho?" because that person is going to turn around and slap me. But now, if I paint it, then the person, if he turns around and says, "Aap rokne wale kaun hote ho?" I said, "Baap ka station nahi, mera station hai." I've painted it. Now, the next time I take that train, I see the wall that I have painted, I'm going to call the railways to say somebody spat there or somebody spoiled it. The sense of ownership that gets created, and that's what the Climate Week is all about. Can I create a sense of ownership among people? We're also de-jargonizing the entire space of climate conversations. You know, the kind of words that sometimes get used, most people don't even understand what's being talked about. So, again, for us, the Climate Week is not a conference. That's one part. Second, it's not a one-off event or a photo op. So even while we are curating the conversations, the idea is not about the 3 speakers on the panel. Our focus is who are the 40 people listening. Okay, can we look at it? So it starts from there. Second, 17th, 18th, 19th of Feb is when the Climate Week is happening. For us, action has already begun. This is part of the Climate Week conversation. Is it 17th of Feb? No, it's not. There are a series of actionables that are happening. Before that, there are a series of actionables that will continue. For us, Climate Week of 17th, 18th, 19th is just a pause to look back of what have we achieved so far and then keep moving on. It's just incidental, almost like to take a rest. It's like a bus stop there to say what have we done so far and then keep moving on. There will be lots of people, because as more and more organizations come in, they also feel accountable. So each one starts coming in to say, look what I've done and look what more I can do. One of the elements we're bringing in at the Climate Week is to bring in Rakesh Sharma, the first man who went to space, and Shubhanshu Shukla, the officer who went to space now, and getting them to talk about, so are they climate experts? They're not. Okay, but we're getting them to talk about looking at the vulnerable Earth from the space. And when I was talking to them, they said, you know, while we are seen as space people, but we are also champions of sustainability, because that 20 days, 30 days that I spent in space, they spent in space, we had to recycle water, we had to recycle food, we had to recycle clothes. So the kind of sustainable living that they've done, and they can be great champions to today's youngsters, talking about how not to waste a few things and how to live in a far more simpler way. So idea is to bring in different conversations, and if that becomes a way of life, that's what climate is. So what we've done is we are working on what we call the pin code project. Each one of us lives in a pin code. Within the pin code, there are, for instance, we are working on pin code 57, which is Vile-Parle East. There are 200 organizations working within Vile-Parle. So far, most of them in Vile-Parle did not know that. Now, today, if I wake up and say, I want to do something, when we create the dashboard, say, this Sunday you can do this, that Sunday you can do that. There's so many different, it's almost like watching a different movie every day. You know, that's where we start building a citizen movement. For instance, we do beach cleanups. Okay, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who hate this idea, because 10 minutes after the beach is cleaned, you know the waste gets thrown back. Am I a great advocate of beach cleanups? No, I'm not. But if I ask those people who come to a beach to come to a meaty river, they'll never survive. So come to a beach, okay, it's a fancy offsite for a lot of people. Then you see there's a lot of particles out there, then you realize what it is, but that's also a time for great photo ops for them. And then I capture them to say, listen, you saw this, you've learned to step out early in the morning. Now there are 10 other things you can do. Today, if I were to travel by rickshaw, okay, unrelated analogy, and the rickshaw wala says 40 rupees hua hai. Okay, I pull out the money and say 40 rupees hua and give it. But the next time I look at if I look at the meter and the card and says 40 nahi, 37 rupees hua hai, I'll say, boss, it's 37. Awareness starts there. The moment I need to know, my curiosity is there, and I start building that within citizens to say, forget net zero. Start segregating your waste, start doing this, start doing a little bit. Can I be the custodian of the 150 meters where I live, work and play? I think things will change. I'm not here trying to change the world. I'm not expecting people to look at changing the world also. Climate Week is not about changing the world. It's about starting with one person. And that one person, that power of one is really into many.